What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the very last edition of the 2021 season. Man, it's hard to believe. This is it, the Mossy Oak Fishing Recap right here from the St. Lawrence River. Gonna wrap up here with a decent finish. You know, another check. Anytime you're here on a Saturday, it's a good day. I went out today in 45th place. I was in a very interesting spot. I already made the classic for next year. You know, so I wasn't worried about points, and I went out dead last today, 45th, so I had nowhere to go but up. So I went and fished all new water today. We'll talk some more about that, but gonna wrap up. I'm not sure, the weigh-in's still going on, but probably gonna move up a few spots, end up somewhere in the high 30s, something like that. But you know, always a good week. I always enjoy coming to this fishery. It's one of my favorites for sure. You know, you got the river, and we could also go out into the lake this week, which is another interesting dynamic. And you know, if you've followed my career, you know I'm not really a huge fan of making those super long runs, those really risky runs. I'd rather stay close. Plus I like fishing in this river because there's a lot of current. Kind of sets up a lot more like the style of fishing, the way we fish back home on the Tennessee River and stuff like that. So, you know, that's kind of how I chose to fish this one. I fished a lot of history this week, but I fished a lot of new stuff too. You know, it depends. This is the earliest we've been here ever for a tournament. A lot of times I'll catch those fish out in 35, 45. I've even caught big ones here out to 50 feet before. And this week it seemed like those deeper fish, 25 to 35 was where they really wanted to be for the deeper ones. And there was a ton of fish up shallow this week too. I kind of had a 1-2 punch going, caught some drifting a drop shot out deep, and I actually caught some up shallow. And I'll talk about my setups here right quick. Those shallow fish, a real good way to target those, and something that you guys hadn't heard me talk about much, is with a little black hair jig. No, I got it on a hair jig.
That's the big bass you caught. Big one.
There's a lot of fish around y'all's dock.
Only kind of thing that I'm catching is weeds. Well, look.
Hang on a second, I'm gonna give you one. Try this on and just throw it out there in, okay? That's what I'm catching them on. Here you go.
Thanks. Thanks.
Me
too. You too. I hope you catch some more fish.
I hope so, buddy.
Yeah. We might go to the tournament today.
Okay. That sounds good. I'll see you down there. Your setup is very important for this little hair jig. This is an 1/8 ounce. That's the Outcast fighter fly. You know, I'm sure if anybody knows anything about this, they know Seth Fighter's kind of one of the ones that kind of brought this to the forefront. You know, so I figure, you know, they make a dang good fly. That's the one that I throw. I actually take it and I put a little piece, if you can see it right here, I put a little piece of a black trick worm. I just thread it up on the hook. There's two reasons for that. Number one, I feel like it gives it a little more bulk and gives them a little bit of substance when they bite it. They eat it a little bit better. And number two, it gives you a little bit more casting distance. Now I throw this on a 6'10", my new Mustad Instinct, 6'10", medium light, Enigma. This is the E-Pond 20 size spinning reel, 7-pound vicious braid. You may say, why in the world would you throw 7-pound braid? It's really, really small in diameter and it flies off the reel really good. So you get a lot further casting distance with it. I tie a 8-pound Vicious Pro Elite fluorocarbon leader, about a 8-foot long leader. And that's how I throw that. You literally just throw that little fly out there and just reel it in. And what those smallmouth think that it is, I don't have a clue. I've heard people say they think it's a little baby catfish or something like that, but they bite it. They bite the heck out of it. It's a really fun bite, and it's a fun way to catch them because you actually see a lot of them bite it. And the second thing I was catching them on is, of course, a drop shot. That's always a player here. Same setup as last week at Champlain. 6'10" Mustad Instinct medium power. So my spinning rods, we've got a 6'10" medium, a 6'10" medium light, and a 7'2" medium. So that's what we'll have in the spinning rod lineup. This 6'10" medium covers probably 80% of my spinning rod techniques. It really does. 10-pound vicious no fade braid, 8-pound Pro Elite fluorocarbon leader, the size 4 Mustad Titan X Wacky Nico hook, and a 3/8 to a ½ ounce Titan X Mustad drop shot weight. That was the setup on the drop shot. You know, like I said, great week. I can't believe that we're actually wrapping up the season right here and we're only in the middle of July. Gonna have a long off season. I've got a couple of opens coming up in October. I'm gonna fish the open at Smith Lake. I'm gonna fish the open at Grand. So I do have a couple more tournaments, but I've basically got until October to, you know, to hang out with the family and do some stuff around the house. But it'll be fun. I appreciate you guys following along. As always, it's been an awesome year. We qualified for the 2022 Classic. Gonna shake out pretty good in AOY. Been a great year. I appreciate all the support. As always, I appreciate all my sponsors, all my friends and family. This is my 8th year on the Elite Series, and man, I'm so thankful. It's like a dream. Every day I get to go fishing for a living. It's pretty darn cool. Remember the Wacky Rig Cinco. It's a really good finesse technique. Gets you a lot of bites during the fall. Well, I don't take it for granted, that's for sure. But appreciate you guys following along. I'll see you next time right here on the Mossy Oak Fishing Recap.